I'm not pausing for effect here. What I've got to cover here live at my house on Friday night when my daughter is turning 1 year old, there's a whole party about to happen, is so big that I have paused trying to figure out what I'm even going to say to you because it's so huge. T.S. Ellis is a senior federal judge, and she's over the whole Mueller investigation and above the judges that have recused themselves and above the judges that Mueller first went to that were appointed by Obama. And she came out today. The full text is on Infowars.com. Even CNN is having to cover it. And she said this is a runaway criminal coup, unfettered rogue government by Robert Mueller. And she looked at the record and said Mueller lied to no fewer than 3 judges. 3 judges to get fake wiretaps to say it was about Russia when it wasn't. They're now threatening Manafort with 100 years in prison or more if he doesn't lie about Trump. None of it has to do anything with Russia. They've raided the lawyer for Trump. They lied and said they weren't wiretapping him, and then now they admit they were. But it's monitoring, it's digital. We don't do wiretapping anymore. Yeah, we get that. Remember a year ago they said that wasn't happening? So she comes out, the story's on Infowars.com. It's all over the news. They're trying to spin it. And says this is a criminal, runaway, unfettered, these are words she used, attempt to overturn the electorate's vote. The voters of the country, the electorate. And she says what we already know. Now, this is the ghost of Ronald Reagan, because this judge got appointed in '87. And Ronald Reagan wasn't perfect, but my God, these Obama and George Bush and Bill Clinton people, they're anti-free speech, they're anti-gun. They say, federal judges, former head of the Supreme Court, said we need to repeal the Second Amendment just a month ago. I mean, they got top judges saying get rid of the First Amendment for conservatives and Christians. I mean, this country is dying, and we don't wake up now and realize the assault is on. And they think we're too stupid to recognize it. So T.S. Ellis III, very respected National Circuit judge, senior judge, comes out and starts yelling. The courtroom was closed, but reporters reported on this. Starts yelling and saying, I've looked at all the evidence. You lied on all the warrants. This has nothing to do with what you're doing. You're only trying to overthrow Trump in the election. And you're incredible. You're unbelievable. I can't believe you've gone this far. This is crazy. This has nothing to do with Russia. And you lied to get all these warrants. And then you lied to the media and said you didn't get these warrants because you had surveillance going on before you even had the warrants, which is all in the timeline. These judges know it. You know why this judge knows it? The Inspector General last year put out a report that got zero coverage. That the former head of the NSA exposed to us, William Binney, where they talk about, and the Nunes memo mentions it, they talk about in there how they went and lied to the FISA court to get these warrants and how they admitted they were running illegal surveillance before. So again, remember how they said over and over again that nobody was surveilling Trump or his lawyer all over the news and we were crazy and Infowars made it up. They'd bragged about it before. Then once Trump said, hey, that's illegal, they flipped out and said, oh, we never did it. So you have a senior federal district judge over all this saying, you're involved in a criminal rogue government conspiracy, Robert Mueller. You're not above the law. You're not a fourth branch of government. You're not the executive, the judicial, the legislative. You're part of the executive. You work for the president. And Rosenstein, it's a long, 5 pages long, where she just excoriates them. And they say this judge never yells at people. She started yelling at them. I wish we had the video, saying, I've never seen anything judicially like this. And she said, this is authoritarianism. This is a police state. Well, what is Tucker Carlson saying? What is top Harvard lawyer Alan Dershowitz saying? This is a police state. This is a rogue government. This is a runaway system. If the Republicans were doing this to Obama outside of law, I'd say stop it. But they're not doing that. Remember Dinesh D'Souza getting 9 months in prison? He got 5 of his friends to give money to his friend that was running for the Senate. She lost. But it was nothing compared to Hillary, not even the same universe. He didn't fill out paperwork. He got 9 months in prison. The Young Turks celebrated. If they were doing that to Michael Moore, I'd say don't do that. That's dangerous. This is the First Amendment we're talking about. But this is Mueller, this mad dog, going after Trump's lawyer for a bimbo eruption. And it's not like Bill Clinton paying off women who got raped or women he bit or whatever. This is a woman that says, no, he was always nice to me. We only had sex one time. And then she's going to talk about it later, so his lawyer just doesn't bother the boss. Hey, the boss just gets bills. Here's 130 grand. And now she follows him around the country, wherever he's speaking, and books the strip clubs for $100 a head, making tens of thousands of dollars per night. And then she's bitching, hey, I only got 130,000 for one night, you son of a bitch, you misogynist. And I'm going to dress up naked and make tens of thousands of dollars a night when you're in Mar-a-Lago or you're in D.C. or you're in New Jersey or you're in California or you go to the VA. I'm going to be right outside town shaking my ass right in front of a video camera and talking about how bad you are with my lawyer. So that's what they got. That's their big thing is, oh, we raided his lawyer, and they legally gave a woman money, and then she violated the agreement. If you look at the news, it's like his doctor was in the news. He came out a year ago and said, well, Trump is on Propecia for hair loss. And the media goes, oh, that means he can't get a hard-on. Federal law, HIPAA. And the lawyer's on the TV this week going, I feel raped. He came with his lawyers and took the files. Federal law says when somebody shows up with their files, you got to give it to them. But my dad works in the medical field. That's what, as a physician. They just think you don't know that. But they got the doctor going, Trump, headline, CNN, Trump raped me too. You're like, Jesus, he raped his doctor? And you go to the store and it's like, it's no big deal. I violated HIPAA. I played the video yesterday. I violated a big deal. He's on Propecia. I told the news. I'm going to tell him everything else he did. And then they came and took the records. I feel sad. I feel raped. I feel raped by Comey and Obama and Hillary that won't go away. You know, we got these peace deals with North Korea coming up. We got all the economy coming back. All this good stuff happening. And Trump's so in battle. They're trying to destroy me personally because I support the president. And his main mission to bring in the sovereignty back to the country. Doesn't mean I agree with everything he's doing, but I agree with bringing the sovereignty back. Get that? From the TPP, from the IMF, from the World Bank, all this great stuff. And these people, I come up to me on the street and they go, I was at the courthouse today and I'm walking out of the courthouse taking care of some stuff. And this lady walks over, she goes, I think Trump's embarrassing the office of the presidency. I went, oh, you mean the media's lying about it and bringing up his private stuff? I go, what do you mean? She goes, oh, the sex. And I went, oh, did they leave JFK alone or Bill Clinton? She goes, well, and I went, oh, okay, well, because I got you right there. I looked at her and I said, Trump's bringing the power back to the presidency in the country, you know, from the IMF, from the World Bank, from the TPP. You know about those? She goes, well, not really. And I said, you didn't know they were transferring all the power out of the country? So now they've been protecting the presidency because it was a globalist puppet. But now that we get a president actually trying to do something, he's like a prize fighter in the 12th round, stumbling around, but he's our champion. We're not there. We're not as strong as he is at 71 years old. He's a freaking bull, man. The stamina, everything. It's incredible. I mean, I have to say, it's amazing. And then you see that scumbag Mueller. You know, I've been on there 23 years. So I look at hundreds of news articles a day. Mueller charged 3 different people with the Olympic Park bombing. Remember that at the Olympics? And all 3 were innocent. The 4th guy charged died in FBI custody on an overdose of Tylenol. So that'll get us a patsy. And that's all his history is he is a mobster, knuckle dragon, makes John Gotti look like a choir boy, piece of shite. And this damn Hollywood, you only think Italians are in the mafia? The Italians got a little too big for their britches in the 50s. Let me tell you, the real mafia is, it's the WASP, it's the Germans, it's the Irish, it's the Jews in this country. And he'll go, oh my God, he said Jews are running things. No, I said there's Jewish mafia, which there is. There's WASP mafia, all of it. It's so establishment that it's the powers that be. Just like there's the Texas mafia. The Texas mafia is, you push us too far, we'll fight back. That's all. So business isn't good here because we'll fight back. There's no mafia I'm involved in. I'm just willing to fight. That's what the Texas mafia is. I'm willing to fight. That's all it is. And so you people sit there and you don't get it through your skulls. Trump's trying to reboot the country. He's proven they had their foot on our neck. It's all coming back in a year and a half despite all their blocking. Everything. Humans in space, thousands of new factories, 1,000,009 new jobs, 400 billion new investment, 4 trillion in the stock market. And these globalists are crapping all over saying he's a criminal, he's a piece of crap. But if you just joined us, the big news is senior federal district judge head, circuit judge head. There's only 12 of those things, right? Comes out and says there is a rogue government plan running wild to overthrow the president. There's a coup plan, unfettered, that's a quote, rogue, to overthrow an elected president and the voters. And Mueller lied to get all these warrants. She's got the whole history. She's the senior judge. And she says, this has never happened in modern history to this guy. You are a criminal, you're a liar, and you're trying to have a coup, and you are out of control. And CNN's like, judge gets in Mueller's face. Fox News is like, federal judge says Mueller lying. No, you read what she said. You know, I almost shot this in my house. I've got computers. But I've noticed when I go and show you the text, no one gives a shit. But if I sit here and I go, she said all this, you'll all go look. So I'm not showing it to you. I'm not showing it to you. It's like 4 or 5 pages long. And you got to read it. It sounds like InfoWars because it's the truth. And finally, and I don't just want to kiss women's ass, but there's this thing about these men roll over. They think it's cool, good old boy stuff. Women are our problem and women are our solution because men aren't men anymore. So it's up to women. And when you're staring down the barrel of Mueller, this known crook, this Clinton fixer, doing all this stuff, and you're sitting there looking at this, and now a senior federal judge who's got 3 levels before her, 3 levels of federal under. She's the 4th level. She's the highest level next to the Supreme Court. I should have started this. Like the judge at the highest level before the Supreme Court, who has all the file, says, you're lying to overthrow an election. None of this has to do with Russia. You lied to get all these warrants. You're trying to overthrow an election. You're a liar. And you lied and you're dangerous and you want a coup. Jesus H. You know what? So this is a big deal. Meanwhile, we've got the whole weaponization of media with Snoop Dogg. I'm going to shoot a whole other video on this because I know it's not like I'm bragging because I'm so busy in the war when all these big rock stars don't even call me anymore. Hollywood doesn't even call me anymore. I mean, I have like top producers that, you know, have produced like the main shows for you name it. And they call me now. They just want to talk. I don't have time. I'm not acting tough or anything. I was telling you. But the intel I got over the years was important. And I was told by 3 different top rock stars and then 2 different founders of hip hop. We mean people with 30, 40, 50 million records sold. All separate. How the CIA came in, the leftist arm of it in the early 90s and said, rock and roll's over. You're going to push gangster rap and all you empowerment rappers and, you know, pro-black community rappers, you're all gone. We want gangster rap. We're going to put blacks in prison. And Snoop Dogg and all them by Sumner Redstone. Sumner Redstone is the highest level of evil. He's just fluttering right above hell right now. The door is open. He's already looking into hell right now. They said to the top rock stars. I never talked about this till like the 2nd rock star and the 1st rapper told me. And then later Moore told me, oh yeah, that's damn right. They called us into MTV, Viacom, back when MTV was king. And they said, you're going to push this gangster shoot 'em up rap, even though people didn't want it, or you're off the air. They told heavy metal people. That's why you suddenly saw all these top heavy metal bands and rock bands suddenly, you know, doing stuff, Beastie Boys with heavy metal and all this stuff. They said, you push crime rap so we can put young black males and others in prison, or you're off the air. And most of them wouldn't do it. And I mean household names that I told you. And people say, well, why don't you tell us? Because people tell me stuff because they want me to say it, but not say who they were. That's what journalism is. Household names. I mean, I'm not going to violate confidence. But I almost am. At this point, I just can't. I think I'm going to call these people. I got to find their numbers. And this is the time to go public, okay? Because I don't like knowing all this stuff. That's why they hate me. So they want me off the air. You think I want black people to do bad? If that's what happens to you, to blow my fucking head off. God damn it, I want everybody to do good. You think I'm some little piece of shit where I want somebody to be down below me so I feel good? You think I like some racist horde of blacks brainwashed that white people are bad coming after my ass? No, I'm gonna fight back, but they're brainwashed. And I sat there and I've been told by John Lennon's family everything that I already knew about the CIA and how they killed the dad, how the FBI came and said, you shut your mouth, we're gonna kill you too. I've been told directly, and I already knew it, but they called me because they knew I knew. That was 8 years ago. My lines were tapped, man. They came after me the next week after those phone calls, and I knew what happened. You think they want John Lennon's family telling you all this shit? And then I talked to everybody else. I didn't talk to 3 rock stars. I didn't talk to 2 top rap people. Those were the top people. Those were the top. And then I see that son of a bitch, Snoop Dogg, that pimp. I have a good cousin, a friend, who actually worked in movie production, who knows Snoop Dogg and knows the shit behind the scenes. That guy behind the scenes is a businessman. That whole black rapper act is over. That guy is pure frickin' money and business and a parasite. And he came out and he said Kanye West is a white man and put out a tweet of him in whiteface as if that's bad and said he's now a white person. What kind of crazy ass people think, oh, you're white, you're defending white people. I'm not defending white people, you dumb people. If you think, I don't mean our general listeners, but I mean people that actually think that's crap, thinking I'm thinking of some group. We're all on a planet, all under the same globalist tyranny. And I sit there and I look at that and I know Snoop Dogg took the contract to sell black people out and to sell gangster rap so young black men would act like thugs and wear their pants down over their ass like punks in prison, meaning screw me, and go out and sling drugs so the system and the cops don't know, they're brainwashed to go after that, will load your ass into these prisons. And then he bitches and Kanye's saying transcend it. We can go to the next level. He's all hooked in with NASA and Elon Musk and Trump and everything, who made the decision not to go with AI global extermination. And then you sit there and you piss on him when he's been recruited to actually give everybody the golden ticket. And then I look at some piece of crap Nazi like Snoop Dogg. I mean, he's a Nazi, man. Or Rick Ross. They knew Rick Ross was a real drug dealer for the CIA, selling $30 million a day, a week. I interviewed him more than a decade ago from prison, and they go, we got a problem. The Rick Ross and the whole situation with CIA drug dealing, he's big. They go, we'll just get a prison guard and put him out as Rick Ross, and then he'll go out and no one will know who the real Rick Ross is. Man, I'm telling you, this stuff is deep. Do I like a bunch of brainwashed, racist black people brainwashed by the media? Do I like a bunch of dumbass Klan people brainwashed against me? No, I'm sick of it, and I'll fight. I walk out of some store, a couple of racist black thugs want to fight me. I'm gonna fight. But I'm not having fun while I do it. But I'm gonna put your ass on the ground. Just like when I grew up and my dad said, oh yeah, you're going to work on the ranch this summer. You got to watch out when that little town next door, that's KKK. And I'd be sitting there with Dairy Queen with a good-looking girl and these damn KKK guys. 4 or 5 of them walk over and go, you're a Yankee here in our town. You know what? They always back down. I said, I'll take you outside and I'll beat your ass. It's the same crap. It's all gang member shit. How many black people stood up to the KKK? I have. My grandfather did. My dad did. I don't want to hear your crap about how I'm some damn racist. That's a bunch of crap. I want you to succeed. I want you to be successful. I want you to know what's going on. Now, Planned Parenthood is targeting your ass. And why they're targeting me, because I really care about people. It's metaphysical. If I don't care about you, I'm done. Don't you get it? If I'm not for everybody, I'm for nobody. That's metaphysical. You're not with God if you're not for everybody. Does it mean I don't like you sometimes? Damn right. I don't like myself sometimes, but I get it. Does it mean we don't have major beefs? Yes. But the point is, the globalists are playing all of that off against us right now. And we've got a rogue government trying to stop all this because Trump is bringing the love. Why was Trump so loved by all the rappers and all the boxers and all the black people for 40 years? Because you think of it, it's impossible 40 years ago, there were still hundreds of golf courses that black people and Hispanics and Asians and Jews couldn't go to. And I'm 44 years old. That just sounds crazy to me because I wasn't raised like that. But think about this. 40 years ago when Trump was really getting rolling, trying to buy up golf courses and stuff that were failing because all the racist crap. Plus, it just makes sense to get everybody's money. Why not? We're all working together. Those were people that were 60, 70, 80 years old. So they were around in the 19 and 1800s. These were people born in the 1870s and stuff. They were all classist with each other. If you were not some rich, super white dude, the exact same club, there's a lot of waspish, racist stuff as well. You didn't get in those golf courses. Those golf courses were where the real meetings were going on. Trump is the dude who's like 30 years old, 40 plus years ago, who comes in, takes over, beats them all in court, and then takes black people out on the course playing golf with him. And it's beyond not being a racist. He liked black people. Plus, he could see the future. Boxing and music and the Rat Pack and everything else. And that's the whole thing. Who gives a crap? If you got good food, good music, good people, I don't care what color you are. I go to your restaurant. I go hear you play music. And that's the thing. So black people love Donald Trump because they knew Don King's got his problems, beat people to death as an enforcer, but he knew Donald Trump actually paid black people. Donald Trump put black people in business. Donald Trump got awards from Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson 35 years ago because he didn't just pay lip service to black people. If you were a good, loyal person and smart, shit, you're in management. So that's why Rat loved Donald Trump. And Donald Trump thought if he made this move, you'd be behind him. But you're not behind him because you're owned by the CIA and the left and the big foundations by that piece of crap, Snoop Dogg, and all these other fake bitches. You don't think I don't know Snoop Dogg? I'm not going to even tell you how I know Snoop Dogg. I know Snoop Dogg. And I know him well. I've been around him a few times. I've spent hours with him. And I've seen him. And man, he sounds like a white lawyer. When I'm sitting out there getting a double latte by the pool and getting some hors d'oeuvres at a movie star's house, and he's over there making some music with somebody for some PR shoot. He's like, hey, how's it going, man? Hey, cool, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, this is the guy that's on TV going, man, bitches, I got my weed. Man, F that Trump. He wants to mess you up, brothers. Yeah. The piece of shit is Snoop Dogg. So I'm calling you out, you fake Crip son of a bitch. The Crips were set up by the CIA and so were the Bloods to cause a massive extermination of black people, just like the abortion, and you don't care because you think there's a line of dumbasses going to buy your stuff. The people like Professor Griff, everybody else knows your number. And KRS-One and all those guys that came on my show and they got boycotted and lost hell, people like Ted Nugent. His whole rock and roll is about the gods of Black Thunder and frickin' blues. He told us in an interview he's losing $10 million a year because he's pro-gun and pro-America. So here's the deal. A lot of people lost a lot of money to tell you this stuff. I'm getting my ass sued off by George Soros and Hillary right now to tell you this stuff. So I don't want to hear your crap. People like Snoop Dogg are wimp pieces of crap who roll over and his dumbass friend Dillinger threatening to kill Kanye. Kanye has done a lot of publicity stunts over his career. And I'm not saying he's perfect, but he's got guts. He got recruited by Trump. He gets what's happening. He's on board to the next level. And once we're interplanetary, what damn color you matter? Once we have free energy, it's over, people. It's over. All right, I got to go to my one-year-old daughter today's birthday. Then I got to do one more video. What are you doing tonight, Harrison?
Nah, this is more fun than anything else I'd be doing.
I mean, I just wish I could actually name. I might just go ahead. See, the minute I start giving up confidences, though, like my conversations with Trump, and I haven't talked to him in like 6-7 months. I would say, hey, this is off record, right? He goes, no, it's not off record, but I won't even tell you the stuff we talked about. But you notice Kanye came out in those meetings. He said the energy, and he says dragon energy. That's all Trump talks about is the energy you got. He like reads it, and then he doesn't care what color you are. That's why he loves black churches. He talked to me about it. He goes, oh, I just love the energy of Christians. I'm a Christian, but God, the energy of real Christians. He goes, he told me one time, he goes, I never really grew up among Christians like that. He kept saying, I'm going to get a law passed where Christians are persecuted, which he's trying to do is the IRS. And I was like, no, sir, I know you're a Christian. I believe. He goes, no, I'm talking about Christians. It's like our third or fourth phone call like a year and a half ago. And I'm like, after he'd already been on the show before that. And I'm like, I know, sir, you're a Christian. He goes, no, but Christians, the energy, the Holy Spirit. He told me, he said, I just really love black churches. And I'm like, oh, okay, sir. He loves black people. That's what's so crazy. And Kanye knows that. He knows it's not bullshit. But does he love racist, dumbass, leftist black people or racist, dumbass, white people? No. And this is the big paradigm shift. You want to say something real quick?
Sure. Yeah, I think we were talking about this beforehand, and to me, it's the classic house slave versus field slave mentality. Where if you're a slave owner and you want to have a slave in your house cooking your food and stuff, you don't want them interacting with the slaves that you're beating out in the field. So you bring the house slaves in and you treat them real good, you treat them real nice, and you make sure they're pampered, and basically
Back in 3 minutes.
Okay, you foster jealousy and you foster hatred between these two groups,
and that's how leftists controlling blacks are.
Exactly. That is the same paradigm that's happening today, and that you have people tearing each other down. We are still in slavery. We are still slave to some extent, not obviously the way we were back then, but there is still our freedom is still curtailed in a lot of different ways. And the way that is maintained is by getting the people to fight against each other. Because when you if you come together, you can overpower the slave masters. If the slave masters are skillful at keeping the slaves bickering with each other, then they never turn that anger on the slave masters. And this is something that I think is a good exercise for people to do, because most people are good. Most people are friendly, most people are loving, most people want good for other people. And so they have a hard time even imagining what it would be like to be evil. But you have to do that. You have to know the power of your enemies. You have to know the weapons that they use, or else how are you going to shield yourself against those weapons? So you have to put yourself in the mindset of an evil person if you're going to counteract what they do. And so just put yourself in the mindset. Say you are a slave owner. Everybody watching this, you're a slave owner. Close your eyes and imagine, your family of 6 or 7 people. Maybe your brother and your wife, and you have a couple kids, and then you have like 24 slaves. All right, you're scared of those slaves because they could overpower you like that. It would be no problem. So how do you stop them from doing that? All right, this is an exercise. How would you stop them from doing that? First of all, you would take their guns. You would make sure, or any weapon that they have, you would make sure that they were unarmed. That would be the first thing that you did, right? The second thing that you did is you would make sure that they were overworked, constantly I would just work them, sun up to sundown, so they didn't even have energy to contemplate rebellion. You would just work the hell out of them. What else would you do? You would make sure they didn't combine with each other. You would make sure they didn't know how to read or write, so they couldn't pass notes and schedule and plan things. You would make sure you would if you wanted to have a slave in the house, you would make sure that the field slaves hated that slave. You dress this slave up. You give them all sorts of trinkets and nice clothing and all this sort of stuff, and you would cause envy and division between these two groups. That's the way that you keep them enslaved. And when you put yourself in this mindset and you think about what would I do to enslave people, it's everything that the liberals do now. They want to take your guns. They want to dumb you down. They want you working constantly so you're exhausted. They don't want you to own anything. They want everything to be rented, everything to be impermanent.
They want to make you weak.
Yeah, they want to make you weak, exactly. So what I was saying was that...
And here's the deal.
Yeah.
I don't feel strong when other people are weak. So anyways, it's humid out here and I'm sweating like I always do. I'm just going to say this. It's in the Associated Press and London Telegraph just this week that 5G triples the brain tumors. Regular 3 and 4G has doubled them in the last 10 years. Just type in brain tumors double. You'll get... They're telling us. You think with my 4 children, I care what color they are? They're all getting fried. And I'm even on these damn phones right now doing it, but it's up close to your head really gets you, because every millimeter wave, how big the transmitter is the full power is out that far, that it lessens each space you go out. So don't put them to your head. But now they're going to blanket everything in 5G. The GMO kills the rats that eat it. It kills the pigs. The Starlink corn they gave them 20 years ago. I mean, this is so stupid. We're fighting with each other over what color we are. And then the Hollywood and MTV puts out these stereotypical guys with joints in their mouths with a bunch of naked chicks going, I'm the black guy, yes, I'm the Redstone. I'm going to get your white bitches. I'm going to get you white ass cracker. And that's just recruiting for the KKK. And then the guy is CIA. Behind the scenes, Snoop Dogg. I mean, I was like, this is Snoop Dogg when I met him? And it was supposedly off record, but man, I'm about to tell all this. I can't do it anymore. He was at Charlie Sheen's house, okay? God damn it, I can't do it anymore. Man, F you, man. Hey, what's going on there? You sound like Urkel. Hey, how's it going? Let's have some coffee. Oh, yeah. And it's like, Jesus, this guy's probably been trained since birth to do this. Man, I'm a Crip, bitch. We gonna hang our underwear down. We gonna sling drugs. We gonna run hookers. We gonna do everything. And then they get you set up to put your ass in prison, man. God, I hate that son of a bitch. Snoop Dogg. God almighty. Jesus Christ. He's the number one Nazi I met in my life. And it's not like some fetish where I go, oh, I'm against Nazis. I protest the Klan. Anybody can look that up because the Klan are a bunch of federal globalists. My grandfathers both almost died in World War II. I don't have to like tell you I'm not a Nazi. Like the media tells all white people are Nazis. So I'm like, my grandfathers fought Hitler and I want to be a nice guy. No, bullshit. I haven't done anything. I don't like racist white people, black people, Hispanics, any of them. They're all a bunch of dumb people. There are smart, beautiful people I meet of every race, color, and creed who are humans, and that's what I want you to know. Is that, man, I and my cousin was involved with Snoop Dogg. He was involved in several productions. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what Snoop Dogg's involved producing? And he said the same thing. He said, no, it's all business, it's all fake. Snoop Dogg behind the scenes is like, in these corporate meetings, these corporate guys love me so. He's like, I want the maximum amount of money right now. And then Snoop Dogg goes, hey, brothers, boy. He has the weed, he didn't really hit. He goes, oh. You ever watch him on TV? He goes, he's not even, it's all, man, that guy's a big ass spider. And he's one of the guys that went out to all these rappers in the early 90s. They said, who's going to sell out to black people? They even tell them in the meetings. And Snoop Dogg said, I'll sell them out right now. You think about that long and hard. That's hardcore. Snoop knows exactly what he's doing. Now he puts that Kanye in whiteface. Oh, look at this white son of a bitch. He's against you now, brothers. He doesn't want you to wear your pants hanging down and go to prison. He wants you to be successful, go to the stars, and be on the spaceship. They say you can't have that stuff. It's like when I went and met with Louis Farrakhan. He since invited me to his house in Michigan. I'm constantly being sued and constantly under attack, so I respectfully said I couldn't go. And, you know, I don't sit there and attack him for Obama meeting with him or even having racial politics. When you're under attack, you got to do that because people at least have some identity and believe in themselves. I'm not defending it, I just understand it. But honestly, Louis Farrakhan knows Trump's for real. He told me, he goes, I like Trump. I said, oh, fair? He said, no, but I'm not saying it on camera. And I had dinner with him, and I was super tired at like midnight. I said, man, it was midnight Texas time. I was in Arizona, like 10. I said, sir, I got to go. No amount of ginger ale here at dinner with you. Eat the amazing food they cooked. And he just told me, he said, I hope we can stop this. He goes, but he knows even his constituents, they can't. Just like my old viewers. You know, I'm actually ashamed, a lot of InfoWars commenters. Because here's the deal. Before we got Discus, because the FBI kept visiting us, the Secret Service, we had millions of commenters a month. And we could actually go in and see who was making comments. We would notice most of the racist comments were bots from central servers. They wouldn't even hide where they were from. It'd be like New York, DC, LA, London, South Korea, where they got big globalist operations. And it'd be all this racist stuff against black people. And we did some reports. We show, hey, look, this commenter is on 20 pages at the same time, posting the same N-word stuff. And then when we ban the N-word, he even attacks us for that. And then I kept getting visits because the death threats on the website from the Secret Service, FBI, you name it. Everybody saw that in the news. So I took it down. And so now I don't know because Discus runs it all. But I know when I'm looking at this stuff, and it's like Kanye West, man, you look on InfoWars, a third of the comments are F this, black this, all this racist ass crap. And I know when I'm reading it, 90% of it's a damn robot bot. Hadn't looked at it in years because we can't even do it ourselves or we'll get raided because they hit us with those comments. So you can say kill somebody or this or that, and the feds come. They grab your servers, you name it. I mean, I've had the FBI, Secret Service, ATF in my offices, like Secret Service 6-7 times, FBI twice, ATF twice. Because they'll say on the comments, we're putting a bomb in his offices, and and they got to come. So I have Discus do it. And man, I remember like years ago looking at that, and I'm like, my God. And I was looking at like thousands of comments in one day. N-word this, screw the black people. They're a bunch of, I can't say what they said, or the media will edit it and say I said it. But it made me like sick that our government, these corporations are doing that kind of crap. So I can say I'm mad at my listeners, like when I see a Kanye doing the right thing, standing up being a hero for this, and I see like a third of the comments calling him all sorts of horrible names, but then I realize it's fake. And then I look at the handles, I can tell a lot of them are fake, but then I find somebody who's real, who's got a YouTube channel, and I just like go, my God, don't you people get it? We're not gonna make it off this planet. We're not gonna just sit here and put down racist black people who have been downtrodden, brainwashed, targeted, and then get mad at them because they're against us and they're racist. If you're such a big man, why don't you transcend that stuff? We're not gonna make it if you guys continue this shit. Because I've run into you in the streets. I've had the white supremacists come over to me when I'm at dinner with my family and tell me I'm a freaking race traitor. A race traitor? 5G's already frying all our sperm and eggs, man. We're already freaking dead. Our problem isn't black people. Our problem's evil people. The communist Chinese already run the whole show. They're not Chinese, they're communists. They run their people. They've killed 80 million little girls. No one cares about them. So, how are we going? 40 minutes? I gotta go there.
Yeah, it's been 37.
All right, I gotta end this transmission. I just want to survive, man. And I know the evil's running this thing, and I know I just do whatever it isn't doing. Whatever the globals do, and I'm doing the opposite. And that's where my gut is, where my spirit is. And I'm out here virtue signaling you. Why do you think I'm under attack? Hundreds, sometimes thousands of articles a day. Why do you think every TV channel out there is attacking me? The government's got a big ass file on me. They know my family was abolitionist. They know my dad's dad ran for office in Texas and won as a Republican in the whole big civil rights movement. And it wasn't like he worshiped black people. He just said he fought Hitler. He wasn't going to be part of that crap. And they all know what I've really done. They know where I stand. They listen to my phones. They got a database on me. They know what I serve, what I do. And they want to stop me. And listen, here's the deal. I'm no hero. I'm just not a devil worshiper. I don't want to hurt you and your family. You think I want to abort black babies? I saw some guy on today, I sensed a dark I'd never seen before. He was so smart, way more articulate than I am. So always go, you see a black guy's articulate, it's condescending. No, that's bullshit microaggression. So everybody's so screwed up we can't even communicate. I forget, it's amazing something. And he laid it out in 5 minutes, way better than I ever could about all of it. It was powerful. I want to get him on the show. That's all I want, is to make it out of this and not be chumps to these evil ass people. We'll have our differences, we'll have issues on the other side of this, but come on, people. You think the big mega banks that own the media are attacking Trump and me and Roger Stone because we're really Nazis? Cold Springs Harbor, IBM, they funded the Nazis. The Nazis were an offshoot they set up. They told them they were the promised group to set them up to bring them down so that they could launch the real operation. And that's all declassified. And just like my dad, when he was in high school, he was in Plan 2 at UT. He was already in college. He'd been at MD Anderson when he was like, 15 years old. And they called him into UT, and he had his Jewish professor. I'm not saying Jews are bad. He was a Jewish professor, Spear, the head of the botany department. And he said, I'm really a eugenicist. He goes, I don't believe in Hitler, where we killed just the Jews. He goes, we're going to get rid of all the bad people. I didn't know that until I was like 34 years old. And my oldest daughter was 4 years old, 3 years old. She was going to ballet. Right down the road, a ballet recital. And it was Sunday in the middle of the day. My mom walks into my studio and it's dark. I got this big screen TV up there and I'm editing with my editors, music guys. It was Endgame, the film they're calling for in Slate and AP to be taken down because it hits it. It's like it's free online. Blueprint for Global Enslavement. And she sits there and watches a 20-minute edit of the almost finished film. And she looks at my dad and she goes, David, it's not true, is it? And he just spilt his guts for 5 minutes. He goes, Albert Speer brought me. Speer brought me in, and they admitted it all. And yes, honey, it's true. So what do you think when you're top of your class? You get the speech, folks. And my mom was like freaked out when we went to the recital because in the car for like 20 minutes, my dad was still talking all this stuff we never heard. How they said, oh, you're top of your class. You're a chosen one. We got to save the earth and get rid of all these people. And we're going to kill the black people. We're going to get rid of the Jews. We're going to get rid of everybody that has a low IQ. And then it's in all the textbooks, folks. Is this really who we are? This has been taught at all the universities. Anybody who's a valedictorian or salutatorian who gets brought in, they get this speech, and most of them go, actually, I'm an elitist. I want my family to live. Hell, they've given me the speech off record. That go along with this, my family will be protected. Why are we doing this? Why are we letting sellouts like Snoop Dogg and Tom Arnold, who told Candace Owens that he would basically wanted to rape her with his penis? A white guy telling a black woman, you shut up and shove a cock in your mouth. I'm not trying to act like a tough guy, but Tom Arnold, man, if you got I'm challenging that son of a bitch to a bare knuckles box. I'm serious, man. I want to beat his ass, man. Him and one other, he's such a pussy. I'm not calling for violence against him. He just claims about he's going to shove men's, in this woman's mouth. And it's not because she's a black woman or a woman or anybody. She's got courage. She's standing up, and this son of a bitch can't give her any actual intellectual talk. He just says, we're going to shove a big-ass cock in your mouth, bitch. Just like Snoop Dogg, that son of a bitch, threatening the president and threatening Kanye. Man, I'm sick of you bullies getting away with this type of shit. And I'm not cussing, trying to act tough, man. I want to tear your heads off, and you know it. And I'm telling you, I'm going operational. I've had enough of games. I've played enough games with you people. Kanye West and Candace Owens, they have souls. And you people don't like the fact they have souls. Well, I got a soul too. And I want to keep mine. And that means fighting you. But anyways, he sits there and says that kind of stuff. And the media says nothing. Can you imagine another white guy said to a white woman, a black woman, Hispanic, go suck dick? You racist whore. That's what he said. It'd be all over the news, but he can do it just like Colbert and all these little cowards can sit there and pull that stuff all day, and it makes me sick. And I'm sick of their elitism and how they get away with it, and how they think they're better than us. If you're fighting tyranny, you're my brother and sister. I don't care what damn color you are. Don't you get that? This is a spirit right now. And Kanye feels it. President Trump feels it. I feel it. Matt Drudge feels it. I kiss Matt Drudge's ass because he deserves it. Let me tell you something. They've been so close to shutting us down, and nobody picks us up. Nobody gives us coverage. We're attacking our sites. They're bringing it down. They got people following me around. I don't even want to say this stuff's going on because they've got reasons I shouldn't get into it. And nobody stands up for me but Matt Drudge. When there's nobody standing up for you, not even your own people, everybody kind of backs away. And that's why I see Kanye. It gives me so much hope, because in fact he's one of the top people in the world with his artistry and everything, if people resonate with that victory and his courage, and if they all start just speaking their truth, we can shatter this whole thing, and then my kids have a future. And that's what's so amazing about this. That's what pisses me off about the liars and all the people who want to stop us. We are so close to humans' destiny, but humans have a choice. We have free will, and now's the time to decide. That's why they're trying to block us every way they can right now, because they know that I really believe in everybody. Hell, shouldn't we? That's not special. Doesn't mean if you're some white racist, then I'm not going to stand up to you, or some black racist. F you. I mean, it's horrible to see a bunch of white thugs or black thugs all dumbass. Doesn't matter. There are people that are above that, and you can't look at white people because of what some bad white people did to you. And you can't look at black people because of what some bad black people did to you. You got to look at what people actually stand for and what they produce, like Martin Luther King said. And that's the opposite of what this whole system tells you. Martin Luther King said it's what somebody does, what they stand for, who they are, what they did, tree by its fruits. And the world tells you no. Snoop Dogg tells you, don't you work with these crackerheads. They want to F you over. He already worked with the real crackerheads, the real leftist controllers, the real KKK who want to enslave everybody. You think the globalists just want to enslave black people? That's a complex thought. Black people are strong, they have a lot of strength, a lot of things that go on, but they can be tricked like anybody else into control. But you think the globalists want to take down the Russians? Because they're not under their control. They're not perfect, but they're not under their control. How much more do they hate Americans? I'm a real American. I don't need to F you over to feel big. I have spirit. The enemy recognizes it. They know it. My spirit feels stronger when you're stronger. When your spirit glows with power, I feel bigger. These Satanists, when you get big, they feel small. And Kanye has tapped into that. So it's time for you to decide right now. You want to join Satan? You want to join God? I can tell you right now, Satan's lined up against Trump, Kanye West, myself, and everybody else that stands for liberty. All right, I'm done. I'm not going to do one more video. Get back to your girlfriend. I'm going to have this party for my daughter. Go see my wife. But man, the energy level, here's the thing. I can't even get off air because the energy level right now, I've been on here 23 years. The energy level, you can metaphysically feel it. The change is here, the choice. Humanity is making its choice. We're entering this point, the point of return right now. It'll take years, but we're entering this. This is happening. The threat's so bad, the globalist decision to kill everybody and to bring in total evil and get rid of humanity and merge the machines is so evil that our spirit that's so ancient is rising right now to decide we're not doing that. And it isn't about what goddamn color we are. It's about standing together. You got the choice right now, humanity. You're going to live forever and you're going to go on to the stars, the infinity dimension, not the golden age, the infinity age, where you're going to bow. You know what? I know we're going to win. 1,000% we'll win. The question is, how many of you will take part in that? It's going to get bad. But I've chosen liberty and life and destiny, and I know we'll win. And I salute Kanye West and Candace Owens and everybody else that's chosen life. We stand against this, and we will be victorious. God bless you all.